He might have assist, but in his hand. Just as crazy as it sounds. Well, that was pretty easy though. Maybe, just maybe, I could, like, you know, play this a little better. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Have you ever seen or even thought of the combo? Oh my bro. Who else would try it if not me, right? I'm showing it one time. That is how you win games right now. How are you doing there? This dude will have nightmares today. That was not even close, right? Top 100. Today we're playing this deck, which is a BBU Starship DK. I've seen a lot of people actually try different variations of the Death Knight, and I've been actually trying myself a lot of different stuff. And it appeared that a lot of like, you know, like different kind of like decks, like Sog DK, like a Dark Gift like package, and all of that good stuff. Just like according to the win rate, falls a little like, you know, shorter compared to a Starship Death Knight. And Starship Death Knight, like overall by itself, was kind of like a good deck overall. Before we tried it as like it was the first edition probably of a DK that we actually tested out, but we paired it out with you know, with the Suck package before the nerfs. Right now, after the nerfs of the Arkonite Defense Crystal, all of that good stuff, I was kind of like thinking like to try something else, but it feels like that these days just due to the nerfs actually of other decks, Starship Death Knight actually does a little better. Plus, we have this like, you know, combo new one figured out with a Poison Breath and a Wild Pyromancer. And considering like how other people actually played that out, like Ancient of Yore is kind of like a tech card, but I still like a Nightmare Lord Xavius in my deck, just like, you know, targets a specific like, you know, discover of a minion from your deck. You can get a Wild Pyromancer with some kind of like, you know, Dark Geek packages here. You can make it like cheaper for 0 mana. You can make it like with a Divine Shield, maybe it will stick on the board and just like kill something else or draw some extra like, you know, utility into itself. And like, you know, overall with an Orbital Moon and all of that good stuff, like the Dark Sheep is obviously really strong, and an Exodar might just like do the trick and just like kill the opponent off. This deck appears to be doing quite well on a high legend so far. Like not this specifically, like, you know, no one actually runs a Nightmare Lord Xavius and like a Starship DK, like for example, but we have to test it out. Like I still like, you know, kind of things that might be a little hard for us to actually deal with specific like aggression or like huge minions, but it depends heavily like how are we getting present on the board. And this guiding figure right there, it's kind of like, you know, a card that you can play and turn to and like feel good about yourself. And, you know, the other decks that we tried like for a DK actually elect like all of those like 1, 2, 3 drops, except like if you ran a Dark Gift package or maybe a full sack Death Knight, right? They're kind of like have like 2 cost minions, but like all of them are weak. Guiding Figure is something that actually helps you out to trade on like turn 2 and 3, and this might be actually strong. So, you know, we might actually like, you know, try that out. We might just like do some errands with this deck, like for example an Ancient of Yore, as I said, that is all in on a draw, so that you can get like to a Kil'jaeden and to your Headless Horseman buff like a little faster. But despite that, we might just like, you know, go and try again, like, you know, a couple of different cards here and there, just to understand like what kind of like setup is basically like a little better. I feel bad like excluding an Ursak, but as it is for now, I found out that Ursak is actually really bad without a Zera, and you have to like, you know, get 2 cards into your deck, sacrificing something, and in a Starship package that is kind of like, you know, impossible for you to find the room, to find the spot, because all you can exclude is basically like what Morbid Swarm or Rat, and those cards like Morbid Swarm actually means that you're like, you know, behind on an early board, plus you might have like less corpses and all that good stuff, and you're kind of like, you know, pretty much relying on Soulbound Spire to actually be really good with Brittlebone Buccaneer or something like for a corpse generation. So, you know, we have to test that out. So, you know, let's jump right in. Triple Blood actually like imputes a lot of kind of like garbage cards to fill out the void for you to exclude all of those like green room cards. And obviously a Triple Blood can actually high roll like crazy. It's just like 0 questions whatsoever, but I kind of think that is more inconsistent than BBU, you know? It's like, you know, that's my feeling of it. Like, I will try triple blood 100% at some point, but it feels like it's a little more inconsistent. That might be wrong, though, you know? Might be wrong. Don't get me wrong. But it feels like that. But as I said, like, I will try triple blood 100% though. That is something I am actually willing to try. It's an imbue mage or something? Imbue Protoss mage, right? Maybe a spell mage. I actually saw a spell mage performing with a little more like than 50%, so. Yeah, right, triple blood only wins conditions to survive opponent win condition. Well, kinda. Well, it's, you know, that's always a problem for triple blood. I am 100% convinced that triple blood will play out at some point with new expansions or at least like a new mini set, right? 100% convinced there. Because triple blood right now actually lacks strong cards, you know? You kind of like commit to a triple blood, you exclude all of those like green rune cards, and what do you have, like inner turn? Hamturge, and maybe like Scarf Keychain to find some kind of like 2-drops that will generate even more value. It all depends too much on what kind of like discovers you get from those cards that you put in to, like, you know, to replace the values there. And you need to find like a Headless Horseman. You're not winning like against a BBU, just like with a Kil'jaeden mirror. If they have a Headless Horseman with a buff, they will just, like, you know, outvalue whatever it takes. That's it, you know. That's how it works. Was there ever any other triple blood cards except Vampiric Blood? Yeah, there were. Like about like 1.5 years ago, there was a really cool dude for a triple blood. When you play out for the rest of the game, you deal 3 damage to the opponent's face each turn. That was like, you know, the dude that popularized like a triple blood there. That was a crazy card, and triple blood was playable at that point. Like, you know, Horseman is a great card ever given to DK. Horseman was a garbage card for a year, bro. You know, it's time for it to shine, I guess, and that's probably one of the last expansions where it actually shines. As I said, like a triple blood, as soon as, like, you know, some good cards are added, this might be just like, you know, just not really that good. You know. Let's check.
I'm thinking.
One sec. Okay, so what do we do here? Well, we can do a netherite, but I'm not like feeling well about that stuff. That is probably a spell mage. It feels like it, at least. Spell mage. If that is a spell mage, if I'm right, always summoning here is a 1-2. Here you go. We can actually summon this too. Shouldn't be a problem though. Because they need to find a lot of damage to clear this board. The Arkonite nerf is bad for this deck. Well, it was obviously stronger before the Arkonite nerf, but you know, the whole idea here is that you actually kind of summon all of those like Starship pieces, and after the Exodar, you have all of them for 1. And it kind of like nullifies the nerf, right? And you can still like have a Brittlebone Buccaneer paired out with all of those like pieces and stuff, and just like, you know, resummon everything so far with a reborn. Okay, one sec, my cat wants in. Oh, I was wrong all along. He had a minion, right? That's his minion. At the end of your turn, gain 1 armor. So that's an imbue mage. But why do you have like all of this crazy stuff in your deck though? That's a little weird.
I'm thinking.
That's a little weird. Okay, I was just like, you know, trying that out again. Oh, that's pretty sweet, by the way. Then we get that out. That's 20 damage, potentially into our face though. Let's do that for now. I kind of want to remove that guy. And a 1-1 probably here. So yeah, Arkonite Defense Crystal nerf was kind kind of bad for this deck, but they nerf ever as a class. Like this deck was, you know, was not doing that well against, like, for example, an Armor DH, right? And an Arkonite Defense Crystal just like killed that deck, like, you know, the nerf of an Arkonite Defense Crystal. And this deck became better on a ladder, like on average, according to the win rate, just because some decks that were actually doing pretty well against this one were nerfed too. So that is like, you know, you have to keep that in mind, you know? Have to keep that in mind, so... Oh, we have some kind of like synergy here, right? But we have a lot of board clears, like with you know, with an opponent like having zero board here. Azan's Quell was a gifted one, okay. So maybe that is not even a Protoss one. Maybe that is not even a Protoss like that. Maybe that's just like a pure imbue. I'm not sure. As soon as they said it, right? As soon as they said it, like Admiral Lord Xavius. I guess should be Primordial Glyph into Explosive Runes, I would say. Like, probably. I have to be careful about that stuff. Let's go with the Nightmare Lord Xavius here. I don't really want to lose a Brittlebone Buccaneer. It's 2-2 copy, oh my, that is strong. That is strong. Okay, let's go. Okay, so that is not an explosive rune. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. That is not an explosive rune. My god, it has all of those all of those locations so far. I guess he's doing Colossus at some point of his game. Just guessing, you know. Here's a Protoss minion. Interesting. Let's hope he actually drew a win. A 3 cost, right? 2-2, fine. Deploy. Well, a copy will not get a reborn, right? Wait, it will, right? It should, at least. Let's see. Yep. Oh my, that is strong actually. That is like a power of Lord Xavius out there. That is really strong. If this survives, you know, I guess it will be really hard for an opponent here. He actually drew the Void Ray, right? Actually drew a Void Ray. What is that one? Hallucination. No one cares. But I guess now he can actually reach to a Brittlebone Buccaneer, like potentially. Like if he high rolls like crazy from a hero power here, right? Oh, how many drinks? Oh, kills it hard anyway. Okay. Well, that's, you know, that's a little annoying. It's a little annoying, just a little, but that is what it is, right? That's a Pyromancer, like why? Why would we need that? We don't have a luxury, it's probably like a counterspell here. We don't really have a luxury here.
I'll beat them all. And they
Okay, let's go with probably another Arkonite Defense Crystal, because why not? Destroys that dude. Feel good about ourselves here. Clears the deck a little, like as a board a little. Maybe we'll get something like for Wild Pyromancer or Corpse Explosion, just like, you know, clear the board. I actually hope for a tuck deck of when. If something that actually draws, right? Or any other Starship piece would be fine, I guess. I can still, like, you know, clear the board here. Just like with 2 Corpse Explosions. Orbital Moon. That is strong, very strong. Let's probably clear the board here. But I need like a Soulbound Spire here. Let's see if that is. Well, it should be core spell. I can.
Ooh, to burn.
There you go. Okay, let's clear the board here.
Job's done.
I'm a little annoyed by those huge dudes so far. Next turn we'll go with a Soulbound Spire. And we'll see what happens, right? I kinda like want an Orbital Moon in my hand. Kinda want an Exodar too. A little good stuff. Those are weak turns. I guess this is a Colossus because he didn't like play that card for quite a while. Still has one drink. Not too bad. Poison Breath, oh my. That's strong. Let's move that guy. Let's see what's up. He'll probably trade anyway, just like at least kill it. If not, maybe we might just like kill him ourselves. Well, here you go, finally Colossus, right? Something. Not just a Void Ram. Just a simple Void Ram, okay. That's pretty sweet. Use Chalice to kill that off. And one card left in his hand, okay. I guess he's starting to actually buff it out. He wants a Colossus out. He wants a Colossus out. And we want probably like this. He shouldn't be able like to kill it, like no chance in the world though. No chance in the world. Let's go. Oh my god. Colossus will like what? Will deal how much damage? Maybe it will kill this at least. Nice. Pyromancer still alive though. He might have assist, but by his hand. Just as crazy as it sounds. Well, that was pretty easy though. That is what I call a checkmate turn, right? But I was actually surprised like how a Dark Gift actually works well with all of those Arkonite defense crystals and stuff. Well, as I said, like Lord Xavius is actually something really good in this deck. Like I feel like it's, you know, kind of better than like for example a second engineer viewer. I would like, for example. Oh, a couple of Chillfallens. Well, I guess we'll leave Zalos. We need some stuff, and we need some early game, you know. Well, that's an early game, so it's pretty sweet. Morbid Swarm top deck is like probably the perfect one for us to get on the board a little, at least. Okay, yeah, sure. One of those, like, you know, one of the 3 highest class cards that we don't really want to see. Kil'jaeden has never played in this, like in this matchup, like just like, you know, let's go. What was a figure here? At least it will trade into your 2-3. It's kind of annoying. Okay, he imbues, but he doesn't like do anything so far. Right? That's what I would like to see, so. Oh, has a living roots. Well, obviously. Arkonite defense crystal, okay. Orbital Moon for us. How do we get that out? Like, how do we get a Brittlebone Buccaneer ready for us at some point? Like, before turn 7 into, like, Brittlebone plus an Arkonite defense crystal? How is that, like, you know, even possible for us? Not actually sure. Plus that is, like, kind of, you know, kind of random for us. Headless Horseman. Not actually a fan of that one. Might actually draw. Let's do that. Wow. Ooh, hold on. That is all better. Master attack cost. Oh, that's pretty sweet. We can do it next turn. That's one. One was full pass, but it's not really something I want. Like, this is fine. That is a really good turn flight for us. A really good one. Don't really care about an attack on that one. Like 0 casters of world zone. Is it like better for us to actually do hero power here? Hero power plus Chillfallen. Like, I guess I have to, like, you know, develop a Brittlebone Buccaneer here. Like, I have to, but the Divine Shield actually messes up everything, though. It has to be like a 3-3 or something. It's just like so huge, though. If it does that, like 5 damage, how does he do that? Boom, boom, boom. Well, it kind of like survives, right? We have to gamble, I guess. Have to gamble in that one. Kind of like survives, and we have to gamble, and we have to like keep a 4/4 here. Let's hope he doesn't like have any damage, but he does. Okay. Getting poisonous, obviously. Like, why not? Casual poisonous. Casual poisonous. Huge, huge. Do we really have to roll for a 50-50 here? They're so disgusting, though. Do we really have to go for a 50-50? This game is just like crazy sometimes. Awesome. There's still no trading. We have like a corpse explosion. We have to like force him to actually attack Xavius here. Where's him? Getting poisoned this turn. Oh, deal 2 damage to all MS death style. Okay, that's pretty sweet. But he just like has 1 poison stuff and just a pinning around. Single on body. Okay, that's nice. How much is it? 8/8. Oh my god. That's huge. That's what I call huge, though. Mention of Yore. Not something I want. Have like 7 corpses max, right? Not even like attack along those. We need a little more. We need a little more. How do we get a little more there? We're kind of dead, right? So we have to like play an Arkonite defense crystal and kill something. And kill something. Can actually do an Orbital Moon at some point. Let's hope we, you know, we survive here. Like, on average, he has like 17 damage, right? We have like 25 each. So he needs 8 more. That is actually pretty sweet that he did that. Because now we can actually do a corpse explosion clear. And if he didn't find like 8 damage before, he might just like not find it now. So let's do that for now. Oh, that's pretty sweet. Exactly enough for us, okay. Well, let's see. Final Frontier is not like really strong. It depends, right? Depends. For respelling your hand, summon a random minion with the same cost. Oh my god, bro. So some small spells and some like huge ones, okay? We have 0 board clears. And we have 0 board clears. We need a Pyromancer, right? For him. Like, we have our way to survive here for 8 mana. So we cannot even gamble use a hero power. Like, we either like do hero power here. And if we don't really find a wild Pyromancer, it's just some kind of like draw to find a wild Pyromancer, we are dead, right? And nothing saves us except like a wild Pyromancer in our deck, even if we find a draw, which is like 2 out of 13. Chances are so bad to find it or to find a draw, to find it after. Chances for it is just like crazy, Not having Soulbound Spire here just like, you know, damages us big time. Well, I guess if we have a 100% survival turn, we have to do that. Yeah, that's how it has to be done. As our imbue, okay. Well, we're full health in such a case, right? It's pretty sweet. He didn't find like anything so far to remove it. So we are kind of healthy here, but we still, you know, lack a lot of stuff. Still need board clears. Don't really have like a huge Starship anymore. We have to do all of that stuff like at some point. Have to do all of that stuff. Engine of Yore plus a hero power, pretty sweet. Infestation is kind of sweet too. Well, not really, it increases damage, right? That's more draw. Well, we can draw more next turn. It's kind of like has to be developing. It's kind of like a lot of mana to invest. Okay, let's go. Let's do that for now. Let's like remove a shield here. It's whatever. Summon some minion. 2 corpses. No, that's not my style. Mermaid is fine. It gives us more corpses here. Force explosion. That is nice. That is nice. So we have like what? Oh, that's a nice trade. That's a thank you zone. How many do we have? 5, 7, 9. We need a wild pyro, right? And a wild pyro. Well, we're kind of like surviving with 1 more turn here. Well, here's a wild pyro for us. That's nice. That is nice. Finally, right? Let's get a couple of cards here, obviously. Exodar, Morbid Swarm. More corpses are required there, though. I'm not going for hero power here just because I actually need corpses. I actually need corpses here. For a corpse explosion potentially to actually, like, you know, clear more boards. Another sail on body though, okay. This is out, right? No, that's wrong, okay. Will give us one more card, okay. So he basically sassed us, and he will now give us one more card, okay. Well, Pyro, another one. Have another Poison Breath somewhere. We can easily clear the board, right? So, yeah, it's too many corpses, so. Well, let's do that and let's do the draw, right? Couple of dirty rats here. And more corpses for us. Ceaseless is now like playable. Still have a Poison Breath somewhere for a Wild Pyro. Have 4 cards left, as well. We're really close to the end of the deck. Woodland Wonders, okay. Another guy like this, fine. That's not too huge. It's kind of like sweet. Another Spire, okay. Yeah, that's something. Let's check that out. Like, we need just one, right? No, zero minions, okay. That's pretty sweet to know.
I have seen creation, and I will bring destruction.
Let's see what we get there. Hideous Husk. Well, we can actually do the Black Knight. Did he spend actually two tone buffs? I remember one. Oh, he spent 2. But one of those was created by Horn. Interesting. He might have a second one. Maybe a Black Knight is kind of like, you know, something that we need. Overall, like an Lissandra is kind of like cool here. It's just like a huge body. And we're like lacking there big time. Let's do that. It's tone by the way too. So let's do that for now. You know, I think I might just like not need a rat at any point of this game. Just like 2 extra damage into his face at some point. There's a 5, 4, okay. Have another Brittlebone here, which is nice. Well, for our Exodar to at least like do something. Okay. Hmm. 7/6.
I'll beat them all.
We don't really have a spell like to cast here. Eliza or another Wild Pyro. Well, Eliza is fine. Good girl, I would say.
Short. I must report.
That's a sweet girl out there. Yeah, let's do that. And let's do this. Okay, he doesn't have a town anymore. Still, we are still yet to find a Brittlebone Buccaneer here, and our Orbital Moon.
The roots lend this.
Why still okay?
Where did they go?
Come on, Brittlebone like a lost card in our deck. How many is that? 3 pieces, okay. Three pieces out there. That's kind of fine, you know. We're preparing that specifically for Brittlebone Buccaneer here. Has to attack with a base. Well, it should be a game. Should be a game, so maybe I actually remove that. I can do a safe Kil'jaeden, I guess, for now. Like, why not?
Creature faces a choice. Serve another or die alone.
Now's a Brittlebone Buck for us, by the way. Go with a buddy.
Me have bad for you.
We're healthy enough. I just like have to go face here. How's that apple? Okay, that's a nice top deck for him. Still have to kill the Beetles. They are generating a lot of value though. Okay. What does that might do? You just recognize that you're dead or what? That was pretty sweet though. It was a cool game. Finally a fair and square, right? Against an EBU. Well, we had our problems here in the early game. Until a couple of board clears happened for him, right? Until a couple of board clears happened. After, specifically after he played a single on body, right? First one was like what? With Corpse Explosion, and second one was a Wild Pair. Maybe, just maybe, I could, like, you know, play this a little better. I can think of like a couple of moves in these games that I could just like execute a little better, but you know, a win is a win, right? Let's not correct too much about that stuff. A win is a win.
Versus AFK.
Guess a mage. That's interesting. I didn't like see any mage for quite a while. And all of a sudden, like a second mage. It's like because we actually switched to Starship DK and stopped like seeing all and favorite matchups there. What's happening out there? Not sure. Corpse Explosion. Well, if that's another like IMBU plus products, Corpse Explosion might be actually really good. Orbital Moon is obviously out, Poisonous Breath is obviously out, but like Corpse Explosion is kind of questionable. I guess we have to like commit to early drops and just like hope to draw it at some point. There's a wonder. At first, like, actually read his nickname was Academic Bombs. Well, it's Academic Bombs. I'm like, what a nickname, bro. You can add that, like, you know, just like to be safe here. Oh man.
Clock is ticking.
Durad for us. I'm not sure actually Durad is actually any kind of good. Let's draw here as fast as possible. I'm actually playing a Durad as soon as I'm kind of like at least a little convinced that a Colossus in his hand. He might just like not have it though, like for now, but he will draw it at some point, obviously. For now, we have like pretty good, you know, draw shenanigans for us, so I'm kind of like fine here. Resonance core, obviously. Well, that's a pretty good resonance core for us, I would say. 5 damage into you, stuff like that. That's a Sun Yellow. I guess he doesn't have anything like better to play, which is like, you know, good with me. That's actually a nice skin up in AFK for a mage. Like, I have only one skin for a mage that actually, you know, that I actually like. Which is like, you know, a card shuffler guy, gambler, right? And this one is actually like, you know, can compare. This is pretty sweet. That my lost cannon, bro. I enjoy this card so much in my deck though. This is just crazy good. A target minion draw, you know. What else could you ask for him? What else could you ask for them? Construct of pilots, right? Chrono Boot. Where do you get it? Resonance Coil, oh my. That's strong. That's actually strong. Don't get me wrong though. That kind of fast crystal clears out a 3-4 here. But now all of a sudden he might just like have a Colossus in his hand, right? So all we need to do is just to find our board clears here. So we need to draw a little more. Oh, where's an attack before that? Oh, your attack of things. Be my guest, bro. Be my guest. No problem. Kind of fast crystal. Like Brittlebone. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine if I do that this way.
Reality.
Arcane and artificial. What? Chalet? What? You didn't even play anything like. So you don't really have a corrupted, right? But he will return and I will burn one card. And that's you know, a little concerning. I hope we'll burn something like that is not like really crazy for us. Something that is not like Corpse Explosion or Wild Pyro or a Poison Breath. So it's 6 cards out of 17. Oh, he wants to attack, he wants to kill her. Interesting. He wants to keep a dream, right? Keep a dream. Here's a Corpse Explosion, I could actually burn that stuff. Well, that is a thank you, I guess, that you spared me out there. Do you actually do right? He has a lot of minions now. Extra ones. I guess we have to, not to burn a card. Spire. Or Wild Pyro. Wild Pyro is kind of like good. +4 health and taunt is not really good. Ancient of Yore with minus attack is crazy good. So, but we have to, like, you know, have to risk it at that point, like in such a case, and just like play Dura here. Okay, let's go. Fine, I'm convinced here. I'm convinced to risk. Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. Could be better though. Maybe that is actually the weakest minion. I'm not actually ready for a Colossus, but you know. That's fine. That's a 1 rank, okay? So here is I don't know when. A spell, either a spell or Colossus here in his hand. Slate Skater, okay. Not too bad. Not too bad. Poisonous Brass for us. The game is mocking me there. The game is mocking me out there. Well, we can kill whatever we take out, but we might take out a 1-1. I'm not really happy about that stuff. Well, if it don't really take out something huge, we can just, like, you know, do an ancient warp and call it about ourselves, right? But
I'm thinking.
I don't really have the move, right? Well, we do to waste an Orbital Moon here, just like for sake of it. Sanguine Infestation. Cannot even do like a lower plus Sanguine plus Orbital Moon, just like not to mill. Okay, let's see what happens. Well, here you go. Oh, that's pretty sweet. Okay, let's go. I'm committed. At least we got one Colossus out, right? At least we got one out. And the most I could ask for him. And there's probably like a second one right there in his hand. We're lucky enough to get a first one. Second one is just like, you know, we'll see. We have a lot of potential for us to gain armor, so we're fine here. Go lucky, but we'll see. As I said, he has one more, and considering that he plays probably an imbue, you know, plus a Protoss, he might not have bones, but maybe this guy is just like, you know, something else, and we'll just also have a buff and all of the Protoss cards, right? Like a bones, right? Not a buff. A bones. Okay, well, he skips a turn. That's pretty sweet for us. Let's see again. Wild Pyro. Well, we have to give away something. What do we want to give away? Soulbound Spire? Was already born?
I'm thinking.
Set me up? Or not? I guess. Not sure I want to burn anything so far. Like, I would obviously burn the Morbid Swarm, I don't really, like, you know, want to burn anything else. Ancient of Yore is just, like, so good. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Kind of want my Brittlebone to actually work. Maybe we'll just like top deck another Arkonite defense crystals. That would be great. Chillfallen is a nice top deck. Headless is fine. Maybe figures are really good. We need a figure at least like one. Okay. Automatic card card. He's a card that can win a game solo, right? Solo. Another Orbital Moon for us, okay. How do I remove that D though? I'm not actually sure. Let's hope it's not a counter spell, right? And it's not, okay. Well, here you go. That was a pretty good turn, I would say. We had to dump our hand here a little. It feels fine right now. Feels fine right now. RS, okay. Have 4 damage here. Let's see what's up. Here Baron to kill a Brittlebone, right? Might actually kill a couple now. No, not really. He's not feeling it. He's not feeling it. I believe they're an actual kill, so that is nice. Where's that one? Give a random minion in each player hand -2. Okay. 0 Kerosene in the world zone. This is that for now. That's pretty sweet. I love it so far. That's pretty sweet. We can do an Ancient of Yore just to, you know. Can draw a little more. What is that one? What does that one do? Well, we cannot like go full YOLO here, unfortunately. Let's do that for now. Should be fine enough, so. Let's pop that bubble. We don't really have a lot of cards left, which is nice. We finally found a Guardian figure here. How many do we have? 4 pieces, right? 4 pieces right now. Because he might just like not play anything. You know? So Doomsayer is kind of like, you know, does some dirty stuff. Let's see. Has 5 damage right now. Do you have another Annihilation? Yeah, okay. Fireball. Nice. Okay, that was pretty sweet. How many do we have? Is there 4, right? 4. Oh, you know, I'll miss something, but it's fine. Okay, good enough for me. Still have a Brittlebone somewhere in our deck for us to buff every single of those. All that guys. All of those guys, right? Still have Morbid Swarm to actually proc it after these dies and all of those die. It should be actually a little problematic for him with the Colossus there, but I'm not sure. Like, we have to kill it anyway, at least. If he has a bounce, he has a bounce, right? He doesn't have a Corrupted, so he cannot like bounce it off back to his deck. Plus we have, you know, a lot of minions right now on the board. Oh my god, bro. He didn't even kill it in one go, so we still have like 10-1 here on the board. It's huge. You have a bounce now. Turn the minion into its own hand. Oh, so that is a bounce, okay. That is his bounce, okay, fine. I thought this only works like for enemy minions here. I was wrong a little, obviously. There awakens. Fine. Gives us a lot of damage, bro. You're potentially dead, you know? Potentially. 35 damage for us. Sleet Skater, okay. Sleet Skater zone, okay. So you're telling me that you have 20 more damage here. 20 more. How do we heal like crazy? Do you find Brittlebone here? How do we heal? Like we can play all of those, like whatever. Like whatever. Like heal from this at a Tortollas here too. That's pretty sweet. And this is happening, right? This heals us and like at least this one, right? Maybe that's enough. It should be enough. It doesn't like he doesn't have like a lot.
Let battle be joined!
Let's see. I healed as much as possible. The Colossus will obviously like almost clear, right? Almost. Let's see if a Tortollas can actually do that for us. Like wins this game. Has like what 20 damage, where like you know potentially at 10. Tortollas is still out there, right? That's kind of like just does 1 damage though, unfortunately. There's a Colossus for 20 more. Do you have another bounce? If he has another bounce, that is a huge trouble for us. And he does, okay. Well, here you go. So we need a Brittlebone Buccaneer here, right? Like potentially for us. Corpse explosion. How much is a heal here? Not enough. Well, we have a corpse explosion for +5. After that, we have Guardian Figure +4. It's a 9. +4 here. +4. +8. They're short anyway, right? Short anyway. +8. Oh, we actually. Well, we tried, right? Counter spell, unfortunately. Was there a way for a no, not really. Corpse explosion. 22. Unfortunately. Also needed bounces out there. And we didn't find like a Brittlebone Buccaneer like it's a rarely, so. But it didn't save us so far, right? It didn't save us. Like we needed it much earlier. We needed it to for the second bounce, right? For the second Colossus out there. Right? For second Colossus, we needed specifically all of those Starship pieces actually on the board, right? We had to do it one turn earlier, or find some kind of like sustainability at that point. Well, maybe, as I said, like maybe that was maybe we could win that one if just like made a tiny little other like choice there. But overall the deck feels really strong. We were able to like win. Did we lose like one game or win? I guess so, right? Yeah, so we lost one game only, 1-2. It's pretty decent, but like we didn't like play specifically like interesting decks that were out there on the ladder like lately. We faced like all those mages for some reason, and as any other control deck, it will actually always struggle against an ODK shenanigan out there. If they found all the right cards, sometimes you just like might not actually do anything on the board, and that's exactly what happened. Like we had our interactions here and there. Maybe we could somehow like survive that final blow, and he might just like don't really have like not really have a another bounce, one more, right? But as far as it is, thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed with your souls there. But for now, that is it for BBU Starship Death Knight.